Okay, let's have a closer look at the 4 types of essay you will be asked to be writing in the writing task number 2. Let's have a closer look at the first type of essay, which is the discussing and contrasting the viewpoints. An essay in which you are given different views on a topic and where you will be asked to give your own opinion and reach a conclusion. Examples of sentence of essay topic would be: in recent years, the sports stars have become increasingly famous and wealthy. For some, this is a benefit, raising the profile of sports, but for others, it's a negative influence. You have been given 2 different views on money and sports. One view claims that this is a benefit, and for others, that money has a negative influence on sports. So, in the 2 different paragraphs, you will be asked to evaluate the first view, the positive view, and in another paragraph, the negative view, and in the conclusion or in a follow-up paragraph, you're asked to give your opinion on the topic. The same could be said for this type of topic. Some people think that strict punishments for driving offences are the key to reducing traffic accidents. Others, however, believe that other measures would be more effective in improving road safety. The topic is how to improve road safety. So, some believe that to reduce the traffic accidents, you should give stricter punishment for driving offences. Others believe that other measures would be effective in improving this road safety. So, you're asked to evaluate the view number 1, that is making punishments stricter to reduce traffic accidents. The others introducing other measures which you will have to detail to improve road safety. And then you're asked to give your opinion. This is another idea of a topic. Many people believe that women make better parents than men. This is why they have the greater role in raising children in most societies. This is view number 1, that women are better than men at upbringing children. Others claim that men are just as good as women at parenting. So you're asked to give your opinion. You're asked to discuss what are the reasons why men are better, are as good as women at parenting. This is a suggested outline I would give you. Introduction of the topic, so rephrasal of the topic you have been given. Evaluation of the first view and supporting explanation, supporting reason, supporting example why this view is positive, is good. Paragraph number 3, evaluation of view number 2. The same thing. You have to find examples or reasons supporting or arguments supporting this view number 2. In the paragraph number 4, you're asked to give your personal opinion on the view number 1 and number 2, and in the paragraph number 5, you're asked to give a conclusion on the topic. In the paragraph number 4, you can also express your personal opinion on the topic. This essay, which is the essay in which you're asked to discuss and contrast the views, can also be done in a pretty more challenging way. For example, by using this outline, by finding out 3 main views about a topic and discuss in each paragraph the supporting reason for and the supporting reason against this view. So this is a proposed, a suggested outline that is more challenging than the basic ones I have just presented. That is introduction of the topic, finding out 3 main ideas to support the topic. In each paragraph, you analyze the pros and the cons of these ideas, and in the paragraph number 5, you conclude with your personal opinion. Let's have a look at this topic, which is a good idea, which is a good topic to explore, that we may use to explore this outline 2.0. Some people believe the benefits of tourism outweigh the problems it creates in a particular place. Discuss both views and give your opinion. So you are asked to discuss the growth of tourism that can be beneficial or can have a negative effect on particular places. So you would have to think, in my opinion, about 3 reasons why tourism may be positive for a particular place. For example, they can be tourism brings in money, tourism improves the infrastructures, or tourism brings in new people. These are 3 main ideas. And you will have to explore each of these ideas in paragraph number 2, number 3, and number 4. And for each of these ideas, you will have to discuss the reasons for or the reasons against. In the introduction of this essay, you should introduce the 3 ideas you are going to explore in the paragraph number 2, 3, and 4. For example, in the first paragraph, which is the introduction, I would rephrase the sentence, but I would also include the ideas of the fact that the resort bring in money and other advantages such as the development of the infrastructures, and more money brings in more people. And I would also introduce the fact that these can have a negative effect that can be a negative effect on the environment, on the prices, but also on the cultures. In the paragraph number 2, for example, we could deal with the idea of the bringing in of more money. What are the reasons you may use to support this, that bringing in of more money can be positive? Of course, bringing in more money may improve the local economies, and there could be more jobs for the local people. What is a disadvantage for this bringing in of more money? This more money may increase the costs. For example, the house prices may go up, and these houses may just be aimed at tourists, so the local people may suffer. And it is true that there are more jobs for local people, but these jobs are just seasonal, are not permanent jobs. And this to close the paragraph number 2. Let's deal with the paragraph number 3. The idea was that tourism improves the infrastructures. So you will have to find reasons why this is positive. If the tourism improves the infrastructure, for example, there will be more facilities for tourists. The transformation will improve. The transportation, will improve. And this may help local population too. But what may be the negative effects of this infrastructure, This infrastructure may deplete the environment, may deplete the area in which they are built, and the damage may be a long-term damage, while the benefits may be just short-term and just temporary. Or the beautiful areas may get overpopulated and overdeveloped, so the environment will be depleted again. This to close the 3rd paragraph. We are going to do the same with the 4th paragraph. The idea number 3 was the fact that tourism brings in more people. So more people may further new types of attractions and café. But bringing in of more people may, as a disadvantage, damage the history and the culture of the place. And this particular place may become very commercialized. So let's have a look again at this new outline. So it is again divided in 5 paragraphs. The 1st and the 5th are introduction and conclusion. The development is carried out in a paragraph number 2, 3, and 4. You focus on one idea per paragraph, and of this idea, this benefit, you discuss why it is beneficial, but also why it is a disadvantage for the community. A second type of essay, which you may find in your writing task number 2, is what is called a theory-based essay. It is an essay when you're asked to give reasons why something developed negatively or positively, in which you're asked to discuss the advantages and disadvantages of a topic, in which you are asked to discuss the possible causes and effects of an event, in which you're asked, for example, this question: why is this? In what ways do you think this happened? Or what will happen? What will be the positive or negative development? An example of this essay is this topic. Nowadays, the way that people of all ages interact with each other is being shaped by social media. This is the topic. In what ways are social media affecting the relationship that people make? Has this become a positive or a negative development? Give reasons for your answer and include relevant examples from your own knowledge and experience. In this essay, you're asked to develop the topic of social media that are shaping the way people interact. So you're asked to discuss in what way, the way in which the social medias affect the relationship, and to try to express your reflections about this development and consider if it is positive or negative development. To carry out the task about the interaction of people and social media, I would use this outline, which is not mandatory, but it's just an idea. In the introduction, you are going to rephrase the sentence and introduce the reason why, if it is true that the interaction of people of all ages is being shaped by social media. And you explain in the second paragraph the way in which the social media is affecting the relationship that people make in the second paragraph. At this point, you can give other reasons why the social media are affecting the relationship people make in the paragraph number 2, number 3, and number 4. By always supporting your statement with examples and detail, in this case taken from your experience or your knowledge. But you may also speak about, in the paragraph number 3 and number 4, about why this has become a positive or a negative development. And you're going to explain why the interaction through social media has become a positive development and why the interaction through social media has become a negative development. And in the conclusion, you conclude your topic by introducing your opinion. Remember to use the supporting examples when you make statements. Let's have a look at the topics that you may find in the theory-based essay. Some people suggest that social networking and online communication have increased the social isolation. In what ways do you think this has happened? Give reason for your answer and include relevant examples from your own knowledge. Of course, this is very similar to the one we have just been dealing with, but it's just focused on the fact that interaction through social media has increased social isolation. So you should introduce the topic by rephrasing the sentence topic given, the topic sentence given, and you should explain in 3 different paragraphs the reason that had brought about this social isolation. Another example of a topic is: nowadays food has become easier to prepare. Has this change improved the way people live? Give reason for your answer and include relevant examples from your own knowledge and or experience. Introduce the topic and try to find reasons why this change has improved or not improved the way people lived. One of the essays that you can find in the theory-based essay is an essay in which you're asked to discuss the advantages of disadvantage of something, in this case for your local community. A company has announced that it wishes to build a large factory near your locality. Discuss the advantages and disadvantages of this influence on your community. The outline of this is recommended. The outline of this essay, in which you're asked to discuss the advantages and disadvantages, is very similar to the one we have been discussing about the tourism. You're asked to write 5 paragraphs. The first is an introduction, in which you introduce the idea and you rephrase the topic sentence given. The the conclusion is the conclusion of the discussion, but the paragraph number 2, 3, and 4 are patterned very similarly to the discuss and contrast viewpoints that we have seen before, in which you're asked to find three different reasons, and in each paragraph you're asked to explain those reasons by introducing both the advantages and disadvantages for each of these ideas. And this makes it more difficult to make, but the evaluation would be higher, the grade would be higher. Let's briefly have a look at the other two types of essay you may come across in your writing task number 2. You may find an evaluation and opinion essay which correspond to questions like to what extent do you agree, and it is an essay in which you're asked to evaluate a topic or a statement and give and justify your opinion. Let's have a look at some titles, some topic. Poor nutrition and obesity is a problem are a problem in many developed countries, and some people believe that a tax on fast food would reduce the problem. Do you agree on this topic? Yes or no? Introduce the topic, say if you agree or not, explain in 3 different paragraphs the reason why you agree. And then you conclude the essay. Parents are the best teachers. To what extent do you agree? Introduce the topic, give your opinion, at least write 3 paragraphs about the reason why you agree or disagree with this statement, in 3 different paragraphs with supporting examples and details, and conclusion. A person's worth nowadays seems to be judged according to social status or material possession. Old-fashioned values such as honor, kindness, and trust no longer seem important. To what extent do you agree or disagree with this opinion? Introduce the opinion by rephrasing the topic. Give your own opinion. Say if you agree or disagree. Again, 3 reasons for agreeing or for disagreeing, and a conclusion. I would use this outline, which is introduction of the topic and evaluation, opinion, justifying opinion, and summarize referring to intro. Fourth type of writing task number 2 is the problem-solving essay. They are essays in which you're asked to develop the causes that have brought about a problem, or you're asked to sort out the measure that could help the government to ensure something or to prevent something else. It is the essay in which you're asked to suggest solutions or evaluate solutions to a problem. These are examples of topics. Nowadays, many countries have very cosmopolitan cities with people from all over the world. How can the government ensure that all these people can live together harmoniously? You're going to develop this topic by finding out the reason, the solutions, the measures that the government should bring about to make people live together in a cosmopolitan city. This is another example of topic sentence. In some countries, the average weight of people is increasing and the level of health and fitness are decreasing. What do you think are the causes of this problem, and what measures could be taken to solve them? In this case, you are first asked to introduce the topic in the introduction. Then you're asked to speak about the causes of this problem, what brought about this problem. And in the paragraph, for example, paragraph 3 and paragraph 4, introduce measures which could be taken to solve the problem and discuss them and support them with lots of examples and details. And then in the paragraph number 5, you're going to conclude. Another example, in many countries, employers think young people nowadays lack verbal and non-verbal communication skills, such as body language, compared to the past. What do you think are the causes of this problem, and what measures could be taken to solve them? Again, you're asked to introduce the topic. The topic is that the employers find that young people do not have enough communication skills. In the second paragraph, you're asked to discuss the causes of this problem. In the paragraph number 3 and 4, you're asked to speak about measures that could be taken, that could be introduced to sort this problem out. And you're asked in the fifth paragraph to conclude your discussion. Problem-solving essay can have two different outlines. One is easier, which is this, the one that we have been dealing with. Introduction of the problem, introduce the cause that brought about the problem, the possible consequences, the measure to fight and prevent negative development, for example, in the conclusion. When you're asked to put forward some solutions, you're going to introduce the problem and the possible causes in the paragraph number 1. You're going to use 3 paragraphs, number 2, number 3, and number 4, to put forward solutions, 3 different solutions in which you're asked to develop advantages and disadvantages for each of them. And in the paragraph number 5, you're asked to conclude by summarizing your discussion. That's all, folk. Cheers.